We have other tracks with them where it's, build in, it can be a little bit slower. This is electric guitar and lyrics immediately.
Yeah. So this is cool because I think this is if we're, back to talking about how the album kind of goes through its peaks and valleys here. We've just come from a valley where everything's been really chill. And they're like, hey, here's a song with a little bit of chill guitar at the very beginning, and then it ramps right up into a solo. Like it launches into a solo, and then it's a big song. I mean, we're back just like we were at the beginning. And, I think for me, this song is special because my friend Ward was in a band called Marmalade when we were in high school and just a little bit after. And the first time I ever heard this song was when that band covered it.
Oh, wow.
And I remember sitting there thinking, like, what is that? Like, what is that song? That's so cool. And then finding it and hearing it and also thinking like when they said, yeah, it's the Smashing Pumpkins and being like, Smashing Pumpkins, that is the weirdest name for a band that just doesn't flow. And now obviously like it's fine, it is what it is, but is that was back when you had other bands like I don't know, Extreme
Poison.
or Poison, Motley Crue, and then Smashing Pumpkins. Like kids do this on Halloween.
Yeah. Well, and it stood out. And maybe that was even that maybe had some grunge influence of, hey, we're gonna go a little bit different here.
Yeah, it was different. It was like breaking the norm. It was like definitely like throwing out the old and having something new for sure.
Billy Corgan does it on this album, definitely does it on later albums, but this is the track that really made me recognize and take a note that he can go from ferocious to gentle and back to ferocious, sometimes within a single word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that. I have a couple friends I know who can't stand the Smashing Pumpkins
Right.
almost because of that.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's hit or miss. I don't feel like there's anybody that's like, "Oh yeah, they're fine." It's either like, "Oh man, I can't stand them,"
Yeah.
or "Oh my gosh, I love that." And for me, I love it. And it's because of the sonicness of it, and it's because of like there's beauty in the melody and there's, beauty in the lyrics, and I just think that when you put all that together, it makes something that you really hadn't heard much before, especially, well, at least in that era.
Yeah. Nope. I love it. Loved how the instruments really became it. It was almost like a jam session. They're hammering away at everything, and Corgan's bellowing as this thing kind of closes out.
Yeah. And one of the things that I don't think Billy Corgan gets enough credit as being a guitar player, he is phenomenal and he is a phenomenal solo player. And when you listen to this song and you hear those solos at the end, ringing out over everything and they're melodic, he plays in a way that other people don't. And it's really cool. And this kind of showcases that for me is how he plays this song.
Now we're going to showcase track 8, Tristessa.